Remy Ma just transformed a late-night talk show into a full-fledged crime scene, so stop what you're doing. That's right. This wasn't a satire or a skit. Instead, it was purportedly filmed backstage with Dr. *GS as if it were part of the script. Tell me then, how a platinum-selling musician and a so-called transformed woman went from being a distinguished visitor to being carried out in handcuffs by 2 police officers and a hairdresser who was holding her bag. How did we change our stance from supporting the facts to opposing them? Let's not act as though something occurred overnight. The host's face appears to be stuck in real time, the audience is confused, and Remy is unaware in the recently obtained high-definition video. Whether it was a relapse or a setup is the key question. With one hand in the wrong bag and one on the microphone, Remy Ma has been living a double life the entire time. The fall from grace is severe, and the video is authentic. Let's start with the beginning. Remy Ma was the primary guest on what was meant to be a normal night on the After Hours show with Lance Carter, the jazz band with neon lights, and that cheesy but charming atmosphere where celebs go to promote their projects and look like everything's good. The public relations team was tense, the costume was burning, the producers were thrilled, and everything was proceeding according to plan until the backstage camera, yes, the one that no one was ever allowed to see, was released. We're discussing energy surveillance angles, an iCloud hack, and time-stamped video that captures Remy on camera. She was leaning over a table, and no, she wasn't repairing her cosmetics or adjusting her microphone. It was said that she was doing something that no publicist could ever make up. Now, let's not forget that Remy Ma is no stranger to controversy. She once told Oprah that she had gotten past violence and was focused on empowering women, and she served 6 years in prison for shooting someone for a few $100s. As we go forward to the present, the video is startling not only because of what she is purportedly doing but also because it was taken just hours before she was scheduled to take the stage and minutes before she truly wiped her nose and walked into the ovation as though nothing had happened. We must also remember who was present in that room. A minute of solitude? There were people. Oh no! Sound guy was drinking water uncomfortably, as if he had just walked in on a murder, while a makeup artist was in the corner pretending he hadn't seen anything. Yo! Is that? Was genuinely whispered by someone, God bless the soul, just before the audio stopped. How practical. This is where things get nasty because a young intern who is most likely inexperienced and uninformed enters the room as Remy is finishing her aha moment of reflection. He observed something he will never forget based on his response. He held a folder that resembled a crucifix and froze, his jaw hanging open. It is a classic, but unfortunately for her, everything is visible on the internet within hours of recording. Remy looked him in the eye and said, "You didn't see anything." Hashtags exploded in leaks. Fans of Remy Ma, After Hours Meltdown, Not So Lean Back, and my personal favorite, From Bars to Behind Bars, were shocked during the mid-con conversation. Some of them displayed receipts of previous interviews and club appearances in which she appeared a bit too animated, including a resurfaced 2019 clip in which Fat Joe tremulously asked her, "You good?" As conspiracy ideas spread swiftly, the show's producers remained utterly mute, replying with radio static rather than a comment. Let's not forget that the After Hours program is live. Thus, there is no delay or edit option, so it's code for panic mode in this sector. Rather, what we observed was pandemonium in slow motion. Remy disappeared for around 12 minutes just before her portion began. However, the camera caught another quick glimpse of Remy backstage again, just off stage, and she was clearly shivering. The audience was clapping in confusion as the band continued to play, and when she finally returned, there was an "I know what I just did, but you'll never prove it." We may never know if this was nerves or something darker, but we do know that's when it all went wrong. A woman carrying a clipboard rushed past the curtain. Security was heard whispering into earpieces, and just as Remy opened her mouth to speak, the commercial cut. Let's take a moment to think about how frequently a live chat program simply cuts. The producers reportedly called mid-show, and one of the show's investors allegedly threatened to withhold funding if Remy appeared on air in that condition. This wasn't a Kanya Taylor moment, and it wasn't someone dropping an F-bomb. Rather, it was a planned segment in which she was supposed to discuss her new documentary or regret, ironically titled, Huh? So why was it asked? According to another source, after seeing the footage, the show's host, Lance Carter, allegedly told staff, "If she's rolling in like that, I'm not rolling cameras." And that's when the panic became normal, dear viewers, and Remy was quietly escorted off the premises without a scene or a publicist on the verge of tears. Guess who was waiting at the entrance as they headed into a black SUV? And that's where it gets even darker, because shortly after that SUV pulled off, someone, likely a staff member, posted a blurred-out snippet of the backstage footage. Mr. Loyalty himself, the man who restrained her while she was in prison, the man who called her his ride or die for over 10 years, the man who, according to one witness, looked at her and said, "Again, Remy, again, you could cut the disappointment with a knife." Even if there was only a brief silence, it was enough to spark enough indignation to send Twitter into a frenzy, for TMZ to post a blurry thumbnail and declare it exclusive, and for police enforcement to get involved because, baby, now as you are already aware, they are not merely observing, they are gathering, getting ready, and potentially even charging. But wait, it gets worse. A burner X, a former Twitter account named Bronx Backstage Leaks Cute, posted the full uncut and unedited surveillance tape online, and in only 20 minutes, the video had received over 3,000 views. Baby, that's precisely where we're heading next. The Shade Room Baller Alert posted it 2 hours after it had gotten 2 million views, and even it seems that Barstool Sports wanted a piece of this mess as well. News sources started handling this as a criminal probe rather than the cutesy slap on the wrist type after TMZ published a modified version of the story with the title "Remy Ma caught behind the scenes breakdown sparks police interest." We're looking at what she carried into a guarded building, which is a major offense, in addition to what she did, according to an unnamed source close to the DA's office. Now stop, because I'll explain this to you if you think it's simply tabloid drama, federal jurisdiction and government supervision. This indicates that Remy Ma worked on network property and did not only maybe commit a crime. Sources claim that the security crew is working feverishly to determine who entered, what they brought in, and how the video was initially leaked. According to a producer who asked to remain anonymous, it wasn't just Remy. We all messed up, and the whole season could be shut down. And the kicker is rumors say the FBI might get involved because apparently the substance caught on tape isn't just your average party favor. According to a number of gossip accounts, the substance was allegedly a Schedule I controlled substance, the kind of thing that lands people in federal courtrooms, not just rehab facilities, and the public, oh, they've turned this into a dramatic mayhem, with TikTok detectives comparing this video to other Remy interviews to track behavioral shifts and Twitter threads analyzing the exact angle of her pinky in an effort to determine her intent. It's become a cultural investigation, a meme war, and a digital manhunt, all taking place in real time. But that's not all. Papoose returned just 12 hours after the footage surfaced, posting a now-deleted Instagram story with the text, "You hold someone down for years, and then this." There are no tags or context, just heartbreak. One video, which has received over 1.7 million views, literally ends with a girl saying, "Look at her eyes. You can't tell me she wasn't on something" during her Wendy Williams appearance in 2021. Clarissa Shields, Ray's well-known adversary, posted a mysterious tweet just minutes after that story that simply said, "Phew karma, girl." It was not only messy, but it was also calculated, and as you are already aware, the internet took screenshots of Peace's entire YouTube lives and posted them online under the title "Clarissa Finally Speaks." Was she right about Remy all along? In addition, just 2 weeks ago, Clarissa publicly accused Remy Ma of having a double life, a claim that fans mocked and referred to as petty X energy. Now, they have brought up that accusation as if it were a prophecy. Even the Breakfast Club got involved, asking if the footage is real, and it looks very real. He attempted to do damage control by using a keyword, but he looked like a man trying to hide the fact that he was blindsided. Meanwhile, outlets reported that Remy's team has now hired a crisis PR team and that she's allegedly considering checking into a private treatment facility for exhaustion. Oh, honey, that old trick. And here's the exclusive tea based on a leaked direct message between a verified stylist and a. Not only was this a last-minute PR stunt, but it also turned into a PR disaster because, after her team begged producers for a quick win to change public perception after her rumored fallout with Papoose, blogger Remy demanded a last-minute spot on the guest list. As if things couldn't get any worse, one of the backstage crew members posted a TikTok claiming that they warned the producers ahead of time, that she came off as rambling, shaky, and off. I asked my boss, "Are we sure she's good to go on camera? It's Remy Ma. She'll pull it together," they said, but she didn't, and now the repercussions are mounting like in classified documents. However, things continue to get worse because, according to unverified reports, Remy Ma has been officially banned from the network studio lot until further notice. That's right. Not suspended, banned, and this, my friends, brings us to the final piece of the puzzle because, when public opinion, legal action, and betrayal collide, you better believe that's the recipe for a full-on fallout. Now that the cameras have stopped, the damage has been done, and Remy Ma is facing the greatest challenge yet. Glowfinity Cosmetics, one of the show's makeup sponsors, has already removed all Remy-related advertisements and quietly released a statement saying that they support safe, empowered women and will no longer work with talent who jeopardize that mission. Damn. 48 hours after the video went viral, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office officially confirmed that they are investigating recent allegations of an incident involving a high-profile figure at the after-hours show studio. The charges include possession of a controlled substance, tampering with a live production set, endangerment, violation of parole conditions, and possibly intent to distribute. Yes, that last one was heavily whispered behind closed doors. The DA claims that the amount of the substance in the leaked footage was not for personal use. NBC Studios, the company that owns the rights to the After Our show, recently issued a formal statement announcing a zero-tolerance drug policy violation that could result in civil litigation. Reviewed. So this isn't Remy Ma slipping up backstage anymore. Instead, a major network appeared. What's worse is that she's still technically on supervised release from her previous jail sentence. According to people familiar with the case, Ray's legal team is now working around the clock to negotiate a voluntary surrender to avoid a public takedown or an unexpected arrest because, let's face it, nobody wants to see Remy Ma cuffed in front of her Dunkin' Donuts. If you thought that was the end of it, think again, because government watchdog groups are now involved. Remy may now face a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the network for safety violations, reputational damage, and breach of studio protocol. According to documents shared by investigative journalist Lexi Monroe, the FCC has received numerous complaints from viewers who say they felt something was wrong during the taping and want to know why a potentially impaired guest was allowed to perform. Additionally, even though Ray's segment never aired, the audience was present, and some of them have already spoken out. Shay from Harlem posted a 3-part video on TikTok titled "I Was There When Remy Ma Got Snatched." In the now iconic video, she claims, "We heard yelling backstage, then everything just stopped. The host came out and said the show was cutting early, and we didn't even get our cue and a session." She continues. To make matters worse, one audience member has apparently filed a lawsuit against them, claiming that watching Remy being led away in the middle of a tantrum caused them severe anguish. HBO Max even released a statement saying, "We remain committed to telling powerful, uplifting stories." Meanwhile, back in the world of rap and celebrity rumors, everyone is abandoning sponsors, brands, and even close friends. You recall to rebrand her image and finally tell her story. The magazine cover she was supposed to land next month was pulled, her honorary segment was cut, and her own rap peers are running away faster than Travis Scott concertgoers, according to an insider who spoke to Rap Report Weekly. Nobody wants to be next to a sinking ship, especially one that's leaking evidence, the article said. Now, let's paint the picture. Speaking of evidence, guess who is now helping authorities? The intern, yes, the same young man who entered and caught Remy in the middle of his dash, reportedly provided police with a written statement detailing exactly what he saw and attesting that this wasn't the first time. The initiative is no longer consistent with our ideals in light of recent events. Since no criminal attorney has verified that she has pled into treatment thus far, this evaluation may just be a luxury Airbnb with security cameras turned off, and you'd suppose maybe just PR rehab. We've heard this script before. After all of this, one blurry paparazzi photo of Remy Ma running into a blacked-out Escalade went viral, and fans began zooming in like it was a Zapruder movie. One user wrote, "I swear, that's a bracelet from the county," while others simply said, "From love and hip-hop to chain and shackles, y'all, the internet has no chill." And lastly, remember Papoos's enigmatic Instagram post? It turns out that it wasn't just heartbreak but foreshadowing. According to multiple sources close to the couple, he has already moved out and has been spotted house hunting alone in New Jersey. He's devastated, but he told her that there was nothing more he could do. So now that the fairy tale is over, the image is shattered, and Remy Ma, once the queen who went from prison to platinum, has fallen harder than ever before. As she awaits her fate, indictments, hearings, and media firestorms, one question remains. Is this the end, or is this just the beginning of something even darker? Because if you think this is crazy, baby, just wait until the wiretaps drop. Here we have Remy Ma, once the queen of comeback stories, now at the center of a full-blown scandal involving a talk show taping, viral footage, a potential arrest, and her entire brand collapsing like a bad beat drop. This could be the biggest celebrity downfall of the year, but if you're here for the chaos, the receipts, and the truths these celebrities wish were kept hidden, then hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Remy has been acting as though everything was under control the entire time. Is she being unfairly singled out, or is this finally karma cashing in? Share your theories in the comments section. Was Clarissa right all along? Is Papoose really done for good, or are we about to witness another shocking turn of events that no one saw coming?